These are some simple recipes, but they are delicious. You know what's better than a good crockpot recipe? One that only requires a few ingredients. Hey y'all, I'm Valerie, and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 of the easiest crockpot recipes that only require about 3 ingredients. These are some of our favorites. Now let's go ahead and get started. Everyone loves these honey mustard barbecue chicken sandwiches. To begin, I'm adding about 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken to my crock pot. And you can season this up however you want. I did some salt, pepper, nature seasoning, garlic powder, and paprika. So after you get your chicken all seasoned up, you're going to go over the top of it with about 1/2 cup of honey mustard. And you can use your favorite here. This is one of those things that I eyeball because I am not getting out a measuring cup for this. Now on the top of that, you're going to add 1/2 cup of honey barbecue sauce. And of course, my favorite is Sweet Baby Ray's, but you can use whatever you like. Now cover it and you're going to set it to cook on low for 5 to 6 hours. Or however long it takes for that chicken to be cooked through. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. It lets me know you want to see more videos like this. Now when that chicken is completely cooked through, I removed it to a separate plate to shred, and then I added it back into that sauce. Now if you want, you can leave your chicken whole, you can dice it up, but I like to shred it because I like to make barbecue sandwiches with it. And I just kept it simple and made some air-fried potatoes to go on the side. This next one is balsamic chicken. It is so simple and so good. To my crock pot, I'm adding about 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken. Next, I'm adding a 16-ounce jar of salsa, and use your favorite, any salsa you like here. You're just going to dump it right on top of that chicken. And then on top of that, I added 1/3 cup of balsamic vinegar. You don't need to add any salt to this, but I did add some garlic powder. Now cover it and set it to cook on low for 5 to 6 hours. Or you can even do high for 3 to 4. Now I know this doesn't look the prettiest, but it is delicious. That chicken was so tender, it was just falling apart. Right now, I'm just removing it to a separate plate to shred. And I did add in about 1 tablespoon of sugar. That was a sugar substitute actually. It was Swerve. I was trying to keep it low carb, but that just helps to cut the acidity. After I got all that chicken shredded up, I added it back into that sauce. And I'm just mixing it all together until it's well combined. This is great to meal prep for the week. There's so many different things you can do with it. You could use it to make wraps, you could serve it on a salad, or serve it over a bed of rice. If you want to keep it low carb, you can serve it over cauliflower rice. I just served it alongside some steamed broccoli, cauliflower, and bell peppers. This is actually one of my favorites, and you don't necessarily have to shred your chicken, you can just serve it whole. This creamy green chili chicken was my daughter's favorite, and you'll see why in a little bit here. You're going to start by adding about 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken to your crock pot. Mine was a little under 2 pounds. I added a 10-ounce can of salsa verde, and I wanted to add a little extra seasoning to this, so I added some cumin and a little Badia Complete. That's just an all-purpose seasoning, and I get it at Walmart. Now you're going to cover this and set it to cook on low for 5 to 6 hours. And y'all, I'm still getting used to my new crock pot here, but I am loving it. I'll have it linked in my Amazon storefront just in case you want to check it out. Okay, that chicken was almost completely cooked through. And there was already a whole lot of liquid in there, so I knew I wanted to try to make taquitos with this. I ended up using my turkey baster thing to remove some of that liquid. I just took out about half. Now I'm adding in about 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Mine was not softened, so I had to pop it in the microwave before I added it in here. And now you're just going to cover this back up and let it continue to cook until that chicken is cooked through. When that's done, you can just remove it to a separate bowl to shred and then add it right back in. While I'm thinking about it, if you are new and you love easy recipes, I would really love to have you here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. That way you get notified of all my future videos. And I gotta say, I have some good ones coming, so be on the lookout. Okay, get that chicken back in there, get it all stirred up, and we're gonna do one last thing. I did not want to waste that juice that I had removed a little bit ago, so I ran it through a strainer and added all that good stuff back in. And y'all do me a favor, for me and for everybody else here. If y'all have a favorite 3-ingredient recipe, how about share it in the comments below? That'll help us all out. And if you're anything like me, I'm always looking for an easy, super simple recipe. Alright y'all, I'm getting brave here. I have never made taquitos, but there's no better time to start than now. And besides, I had some corn tortillas in the pantry that really needed to get used up. I did hear though to microwave them in a wet paper towel, or a damp paper towel I'll say. That's supposed to help them not to crack when you try to roll them up. I laid me down a tortilla and added on a little creamy green chili chicken and then topped it with a little mozzarella cheese. And the first one did not go so well. I tried to roll that thing up and it was just falling apart, but I was pretty sure it was because I overfilled them. So I grabbed another one of those corn tortillas and I'm trying it again. So have y'all ever made homemade taquitos? I'm frying them up in the pan tonight, but next time I want to try this in the air fryer. By the way, I have an air fryer video coming out soon. Now this one right here was not perfect, but it was much better than the first one. I covered the bottom of a large pan with oil and I had it set on about medium-high heat. I added in those taquitos and I let them cook for about a minute or two on each side until they were golden brown. When they're done, you can go ahead and remove them to a paper towel lined plate and then set them aside while you work on the rest. Now I gotta say, these were not perfect, but they turned out so good. I was actually pretty proud of myself. I can't wait to try some beef taquitos, so those will definitely be next. We just dipped these in some queso, and that recipe will actually be in an appetizer video coming out here soon. These turned out to be a hit. You can't get much easier than this Hawaiian chicken. To my crock pot, I added a little under 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken, followed by a 20-ounce can of pineapple chunks. And I did drain those. Now you're going to add a cup to a cup and a half of your favorite barbecue sauce. I wanted to keep the sugar down on this one, so I decided to add some sugar-free G. Hughes barbecue sauce. And if you do low carb and you haven't tried this sauce yet, you seriously need to. It's G. Hughes. I get it at Walmart. They have teriyaki, they have ketchup, they have barbecue sauce, they have spicy barbecue sauce. You name it, they have it. Now I'm setting this to cook on low for 6 hours. That chicken is cooked through, so I'm going to remove it to a separate plate, but I am not going to shred it this time. I'm going to cut it into chunks. Now, if you want to thicken up that sauce a little bit, here's what you do. Before you add the chicken back in, make you a little slurry with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. Stir it up really good and add it back into that sauce and let it continue to cook on low until that sauce thickens. I didn't do that with this though because I was sharing it with somebody that was trying to keep it a little more sugar-free. It turned out amazing. And after you get it all mixed together, if you feel like you need to add a little more barbecue sauce to this, you absolutely can. This is one that I've actually been very skeptical about. I've been wanting to try it forever, and I'm so glad I finally did. I'd have served this alongside some steamed broccoli and cauliflower rice. And if I'd had time, I would have made some cauliflower fried rice to go with this, but I'll have to save that for another time. But this is an easy meal and it was delicious. This last one is a crock-pot pork tenderloin and gravy. I'm starting out in a medium-sized bowl. I added 1 can of cream of chicken soup. And I promise y'all, I am not wasting anything. I made sure I got all of that out. The recipe called for 2 packets of pork gravy, but all I had was this chicken gravy on hand, so that's what I used. I'm telling you, use what you got. Don't be making a special trip to the grocery store. I also added in a half a cup of chicken broth, but you can also just add in water. Now whisk that until it's well combined. Now over to the crock pot, I added about a 2.5 pound pork tenderloin, and then on top of that, I poured that cream of chicken gravy mixture we made up just a second ago. Oh mercy, I am so sorry y'all. Next time, I will make sure to get my spatula out and scrape that bowl clean. Now you're going to cover this and set it to cook on low, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Just depends on how hot your crock pot cooks. You just don't want to overcook it. When it's completely cooked through, I just removed it and sliced it up, and it was ready to serve. I just made some rice and green beans to serve on the side. I wanted to keep it simple. This turned out so good. I don't cook with pork too often, but it was so good. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You may also like these. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more easy recipes, and I will see you in the next one.